There we go. Hey, I had to go over to StreamYard because Facebook blows, I'm going to say cuss words, blows ass. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to put one of my lights back. You can look at my pretty little Gibson guitar that I just got. Oh, wait. Have a little calamity here. But we're back in business. You know, live streaming forever was the simplest thing in the world. And now, it's not. So, anyway. Let's see. I'm trying to get over where I can see the comments. Comments, here we go. Probably no one's here because it was supposed to be on Facebook. And it's not working on Facebook. I even did some tests over there and it failed. Today, after working this week. Anyway, I have this monster sounding Junior that I just got from the custom shop. Put the Music City bridge on it. Had Michael DeTemple cut me a Mastodon nut. And man, does it ring. I haven't changed the pickup yet. It sounds really good. Anyway, people showing up. So I apologize for the mess. It looks like I'm going to have to do StreamYard from here on out. So anyway, for those of you who haven't seen me in a while, you know I went through a bunch of eye surgeries, and now I have some really cool glasses. Don't actually need them for this, but they really help. Seeing close up, that's all it is. They're progressive. Messing around. Anyway, waiting for some people starting to show up just totally by accident because the Facebook thing got ruined. For those of you that were trying to find me on Facebook, I'm really sorry. I ran tests this week and it seemed to work. It's a pretty simple process, but it just fails. If you schedule something on Facebook and then try to go live, it doesn't. And then when you go back in there, it's a new event. You can't go back to the old one. And when you do find the old one by just going back in your browser, it's been ruined. So I don't know why that is. I've been doing this since 2009. I can't figure out why, but oops. It's a weird chord progression. How many people remember the Zombies, right? Yeah, hands aren't warmed up, obviously. Anyway, really all I wanted to tell you guys was that 65 amps is really moving forward. And I'm going to move the show out of my house, so it's not like this slapdash, crazy, unprofessional thing anymore, which will probably be in a few weeks. I don't know why the technology is causing such fits, but it is. But anyway, so things are moving forward. We're actually out looking for spaces right now, searching LoopNet and everywhere else, trying to find a shop, which would be mostly an office and a small shop in the back. Anyway, we're moving. We're rolling along. Things are going. We got a few projects going, and then we just picked up another sort of partnership with a company that you guys know. We're going to design some really cool, fun products on the side. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to jump on and say. And this is going to be a really short video. I know attention spans now have dropped. So from what I understand, your submissions to the internet need to be 2.5 hours or 10 minutes at the most. So I'm going to kind of keep this around 10. But anyway, so my new partner and I are out moving around. We're having meetings all the time. We're looking for spaces. We've got a business plan together. We're going to be getting our funding soon. And I'm also going to get this web show nonsense sorted out so I don't have to put you guys through this torturous thing anymore. I'm really sorry about that. For those of you guys that came over to Facebook, the event wouldn't fire up. It just won't do it. I don't know why that is, but that's the case. And I'm really sorry about it. It's really strange because I ran some tests. I just had my kids, hey, I'm going to go live. Tell me if it's working. And it sounded good and it worked fine. So I know some of you on YouTube right now might be hearing something different than the people on Facebook. And anyway, good sounding guitar, huh? This is from Gibson's Custom Shop. It's a 1958 Junior reissue. You guys might remember the 59 Junior that I used to play on the show all the time. It was kind of a victim of COVID. Had to sell it for money. So the guys at Gibson kind of took care of me on this. And I got the Music City Bridge out in Nashville. Joe Glazer and Tom Bukovac designed. Bridge really helps. Makes the guitar ring at the locking studs. And then I had Michael DeTemple here in town. He cuts me a nut based out of fossilized mastodon ivory, which just is amazing. Sounds incredible. Makes the guitar very stable, which, Juniors are not stable guitars. So this is a Producer 84. But anyway, it's good sound guitar. I love it. It plays great. Rings like a bell. Thank you, Gibson. Whoops. Let's forget that song. Wellington and Lemus, how much for the amp? I'll sell you this amp right now for, well, I need to send you a message. If I say the number here online, their algorithm picks up that I'm selling stuff and wants to charge tax. But it is more than $1,800 and less than $2,000. Right in the middle. If you want to send me a private message, I'll tell you about it. It's in great shape. It's brand new. It's new old. It's not even new old stock. It's a new amp. Well, it is technically new old stock. It never got sent out. It was a build sample and has new tubes in it and brand new cabinet. New cabinet, new vents, new logo. Everything's brand new. So I like it kind of down here in the lower gain setting. My man. Yeah, man, just get a hold of me on Facebook. It reminds me of that so much. So my email is right there on the screen, danboole@me.com. I'd be happy to take care of you. And thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it sincerely. Which Facebook page are you on, Wellington? I'm on 3 Facebook pages right now. Anyway, I love Juniors. I grew up on Juniors. My first guitar was a Junior. I put groceries on the table with a Junior forever. It's a simple guitar, but man, it just rocks and rolls. So we can go super dirty over here. Hey, DJ Melkor down in Caracas. Hola, amigo. Bienvenidos. We'll go super dirty. I am playing a P90, so it's a little noisy. But... lots of dirt. P90 with a million lights here. So I like that. That's the best rock and roll rhythm sound right there. P90 was kind of half dirt. Just a little bit. Hold the tone back. Woman tone. Especially if you go over here to the dirt. That sounds better than any fuzz pedal to me, but whatever. Anyway, Juniors can do anything. Anyway, that's what's happening. So, man, I got to be honest with you guys. Besides all these technical issues, which are wildly embarrassing, I'm really sorry about it. I believe we're on a great path now, finally, after all the crazy stuff. I got a good partner who wants to get things done. I have a lot of ideas. Everybody seems to be enjoying. We've got really smart, eminent people in the business who have agreed to help us. And I can't wait to get going. I'm sitting here in a holding pattern right now trying to get rolling. So what's been fun is I went to NAMM, and I told everybody that I'm resurrecting my company. That's why Gibson's offered to help me and other people, and I got a Telecaster coming soon. Let's go back over here. That's just straight up AC30 on this amp. You go to a little gained up one. Anyway, I don't have much else to tell you because there's a lot of stuff going on that I can't really reveal yet, but it's really good. Trust me, it's exciting. You're going to find out soon, very soon, and it'll be neat. Also, my friends over here at Mojave for lending me an MA200 mic. And actually, this is, let me get my glasses back on. You guys didn't see my new glasses. This is a MA201 FET mic. So, yeah. Life is good. I got that song in my head. You know, the Zombies tune. It's a time of the season. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Anyway, having fun with the Les Paul Jr. It's good to see you guys. I'm going to cut it short today. We're at like 17 minutes, and which has probably gone on 12 minutes too long. But I'm having fun. The guitar sounds great in my headphones. I hope it's not too much level out there. Sometimes I don't get a good sense of what level is on your end. I'm fixing all this broadcasting stuff, and StreamYard looks like it maybe started working again. It used to have a lot of problems. I don't see anyone from YouTube on here, at least not making comments. So we'll see what's happening. There's some people from YouTube here. Okay. And from 65 amps. Right on. Okay, great. All right. So StreamYard it is. For those of you that tried to come to the scheduled event on Facebook, it wouldn't fire up. When I say go live now, it goes to a different screen. It says go live as if it's an entirely new event, which it wasn't. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions, get a hold of me at danboole@me.com. I'm resurrecting the 65 amps domain soon. But I'm here. I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm on Instagram. danboole@me.com. DANBOUL me.com. And happy to tell you guys what's going on. We have a great plan, which I'll be able to release soon. And I think you're going to dig it. I think it's going to work. Anyway, love you, fellas. I'm sorry for the chaos. Going to do last call here. Give you guys a minute to respond. I see viewers coming on. People coming on. Should I stay or should I go? Andy, what's up? Hey, you survived. Yeah, Facebook failed me again. Sorry, Axel. Yeah, the event that I had scheduled on Facebook would not fire up. It wouldn't do it. So I went back to StreamYard. I'm all over YouTube now, 3 Facebook pages, etc. like I used to do. Hopefully it's working. You guys can tell me. How's the sound? Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm giving up. I'm just pissed and done. had some tests earlier this week and it worked. That's what was crazy. It's just using that scheduled event made it like blow a gasket, I guess. But how's the sound? Is the guitar coming out both sides? Is it left and right? Or because when I go Facebook straight, it's like the sound just comes out one side and the voice comes out the other. Thank you, Melchor. Man, all the way from Venezuela, buddy. I love that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going through the aux. This is the producer 84, so. So this is that new Junior I was telling you about. I put the Music City Bridge on. This is from the custom shop. So it's a long neck tenon, nitro finish, you know, all that stuff. And then Michael DeTemple cut me a fossilized Mastodon ivory nut. And it rings like a bell. I haven't changed the pickup. I don't know if I will. It's a nice fat P90. But you hear that sort of, that bouncy, spanky sound like that. That's what I look for in a P90, and this is good. So, Andy, you remember that sound when we were both playing in Atlanta in the 80s? If you couldn't rock and roll like that, you couldn't play. Every band had a song that went. That's right, satellites, the effects, the satellite effect, right? When did that first Satellites record come out? Like 85, something like that. And those guys brought back the good raunch and roll, and so everyone learned how to do that. Stretch it out a little bit. Yeah, those guys could just groove, man. You know what? Another Dan Baird, and the Dos Rickies, Rick Richards and Ricky Price. So the first day that I moved to Atlanta to join that band, the guys took me out like on the town all night, and we went to a little bar called Hedgens in Atlanta. You remember Hedgens, Axel? And in there was, it wasn't the Satellites, it was their sub band, which was just the Rickies and Mauro Magellan, and I'm blanking on their name for some reason. The Hellhounds, the Hellhounds. And Ricky Richards was playing a Junior through a 100-watt high watt in this little club. And the Hellhounds were like the Georgia Satellites on cocaine, right? And all the songs are... And I remember the first one I ever heard was that Ringo Starr song. They ended up putting it on the record. Well, I listen for your footsteps coming up the drive. But that's just the Satellites playing. Yeah, 5 guys named Mo. I do. I remember 5 guys named Mo. There was another band. The singer in my band, Bruce Smith, started another band when we broke up called Skunk Butt, which I thought was one of the best names ever. But that sort of rhythm playing like that. I used to love that. And trust me, when you're in a small club and some dude, oh, you played in that band for a little bit. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you walk into a small club and Rick Richards is doing that with a Junior through a 100-watt high-watt amp, dude, if you're not awake, you will be. That stuff was incredible. And those guys were so good. But yeah, then in the satellites playing all the time. It was amazing. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I was in a couple bands there in Atlanta, but let's see. My Spanish is bad. No, I don't have a shop yet, DJ Melchor. If that's what you're asking, do we have a house for 65? We're working on it soon. I'll have a shop, I think, next month. So we're out looking around right now. And I got one that I want, but I need the people in there need to get out. Let me give this thing a quick tune. I'm tuning by ear and headphones, and it's not working right. And I'm beating the crap out of the guitar. Anyway, so yeah, Andy, you remember, you're in Raleigh, Chapel Hill based. Oh, okay, yeah, but you guys played through Atlanta, or did I see you up there? So I used to go playing through North Carolina all the time. Well, she's 9 years old, sweet as she can be. All dressed up like a Hoss Thompson, what's happening, man? This is the survival fall through from the Facebook collapse. I don't know. Playing a junior makes me feel that way. Sorry. DC through Houston. Yeah. We kind of did the whole Confederacy too. You blame Elon? Yeah. The F is silent. Felon. Anyway, Hoss, I'm going to kind of end it here in a few minutes because it's been such another chaotic embarrassment day. The viewers are showing up here. It's great. All of a sudden, I got a lot of people here, which is really cool. So just to repeat for those of you that haven't been here, since I told everyone that I'm resurrecting the company and my show and all that stuff, a lot of manufacturers have been great. All right, Mark, that's a great question. Let me get to you in just a second. Gibson's Custom Shop hooked me up with a guitar, and I have other stuff coming, and everyone's been amazingly supportive. I mentioned to them that I don't have a junior right now, and I really miss having one for the show, so they hooked a brother up. Not for free, but give me a great deal. So Mark's on the air. Would you describe the Producer 84 as 2 times AC style circuits as opposed to a Fender style? And yes. So it's really the same AC circuit, just 4 different iterations of it. So where I am now, it's just basic. It's kind of pushed hard. But if I go here, this is sort of like 65, 66 AC30, which were not JMI AC30s, right? Those are Royston Group AC30s. They had different transformers, and they were jacked just a hair. Those went from being hand-wound Woden transformers for the most part to being machine-wound Parmico transformers, which had a different sound. And then you go over here. This is just jacked up AC30. And, you know, sort of like Brian May, you know. That kind of thing. And then on the 4-channel is just high gain. Now I'm playing P90s here, so it's a little noisy, but you take your tone control and roll it back. Which to me sounds way better than any fuzz pedal. Call me old-fashioned. Anyway, Axel says the producer 6L is amazing. Well, thank you, man. It only does what you ask it to do. Juniors are the Swiss Army knife, man. One pickup and two knobs. I can do whatever I want. I've never felt, you know, tone back to half. I love Juniors. Plus, Haas Thompson says AC tone without the hiss and snowstorm of a treble booster to stop it sounding like a fart machine. Yeah, I want to use that. I want to make t-shirts. That's good. I'll send you some free t-shirts with that, Haas. Thank you so much. Go back down to a little less gain. Straight up AC30. So you want to go straight up AC30 and do the, you know, the classic. 19. But yeah, what's it? Let me go a little less distortion here. Just turn it down. Woo. Oh my goodness. You can't tune in headphones. I don't know why that is. It's just a joke. Maybe because I'm feeling it and hearing differently. Just went way sharp. I could not hear that at all. Sound like I was flat. Let's see if that's any better. It's the Mike Campbell tones, right? Yeah, you got all that. Yeah. A little more distortion. I turned it down, right? You sing. Don't have to live like a refugee. Got dog action here. Anyway, Rob Price says, loving my whiskey with the band. I need to switch. Oh, wait a minute. I need to switch a lot between Marshall type sound and Fender Surf. Oh, cool. Yeah, it does that really well. Yeah, that's good. Haas Thompson says, sound like that Junior isn't keen on California. Maybe it needs to reside in Northern England for a bit. Yeah, man, we should talk. And you love your Soho 212 combo. Thank you. Muchas gracias, DJ Melchor. It loves you too. Y tú también. My Spanish is horrible. Is it possible to have a tech install a 4-ohm switch on the back of that amp? I got to check the output transformer taps. I'm not sure. I would not recommend using 4 ohms. You're losing a lot of sound when you do that. All amps sound better at higher impedance. you're using the full wind of the transformer. So at 16 ohms, you're using the entire output transformer. At 8 ohms, you're using about 2/3 of it. And at 4 ohms, you're using a little less than half of it. So you lose a lot of detail and harmonic content there. It does cover up if your amp is screwing up. A lot of guys like to use 2 and 4 ohm taps because it kind of filters out odd order harmonics and ratty distortion. You don't need to do that with this amp. I can check and see. I got to look. The output jacks on this are in parallel. Oh yeah, we got border collies everywhere right now. My daughter just brought home 2 more. Do you have a excuse me, hiccups. Do you have a 4 ohm cabinet, Mark? Is that why you're asking? Because if you have a 4 ohm cabinet, it probably has 2 8 ohm speakers in parallel. And you can easily rewire those to be in series, and you'll have a 16 ohm cabinet, which every amp will like better. You have a 212, divided by 13 cabinet, each with their own jack. So they're 2 4 ohm speakers in there, really? Yeah, we all need to learn Spanish, Rob. America's a big continent. It's just not a country. 2 8 ohm speakers. So if they're wired with their own jack, Mark, then you should, if you plug into each one, you should have an 8 ohm load. There would only be 4 ohms if those 2 speakers are wired in parallel. If they're wired in series, which I thought Fred's cabinets were 2 8 ohm speakers wired in series so that you get 16 ohms. I love Fred's amps. Those are great amps. That's part of the reason Peter and I decided to go into the business 23 years ago. Oh. I beat the crap out of Juniors, and it's got new strings on it. So, might want to double check that, Mark, and I'm happy to help you with that. I would look at the back of it. I think I need to polish this nut a little bit. There we go. Or get a more accurate tuner. That's a spicy, raunchy rock and roll sound right there. I like it very much. If you've never checked him out, I recommend Trapeze, Glenn Hughes. Oh, wow, before Deep Purple. Some marvelous Junior tones. Yeah, I'm a big Junior guy. That's home base for me. My first guitar was a 63 Junior, which I think you guys saw me playing on the show. And I also had a 59 Junior forever that I love. Yeah, Mark, that's right. My output jacks are in parallel. So if you put 2 8 ohm speakers on it, you would net 4 ohms. Yeah, that's right. So I still don't understand what you want a 4 ohm switch for. Maybe it's because we're texting online and it's hard to see, but yeah, it's new strings. Still, Mark, stretching out. And they're the nickel strings, not the nickel wound strings, which I'm not a huge fan of. As you were there, they got sort of thrust upon me. Plus, I'm beating the tar out of this guitar, too. I think, Mark, that might just be the cabinet that you have. So you're saying you want to run both of those 8 ohm speakers I gotcha. You want to run two cables out of the head into the one cabinet. Gotcha. Okay. I'm catching up. Yeah. I'll check and see. I don't remember this transformer having a 4 ohm tap because I never ordered a 4 ohm tap. All of our cabinets are 16 ohms, and all of the amps are 16 and 8, because if you plug in two 16 ohm cabinets in parallel, you get 8 ohms, right? So, I wonder what the best way to do that is. You could, everybody say hi to Mark Guillen, who's the new member of 65 amps, by the way. Hi, Mark. Glad you made it. Facebook took another dump on me, so I'm here on StreamYard. I don't know if it's working or not, but we got some people at least this time, and the show is sustaining. Yay. So there are speaker jacks you can get, Mark, where you can have a switch to switch your speakers from being in parallel or in series. And if you put one of those on that cabinet, then you'll have a 16 ohm cabinet. Yeah, I mean, so mismatching impedance is kind of a dangerous thing if you go under. It's okay to overload your output transformer, meaning like if it's set to 8 ohms and you plug it into a 16 ohm cabinet, that's fine. A lot of guys do that on purpose. A lot of old Marshall guys will set their Marshall on 8 ohms and plug it into a 16 ohm cabinet. You get a little more distortion that way, and the distortion's a little smoother. Yeah, Haas Thompson, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, there are jacks you can get. There are Marshall jacks, actually. It's got a little sliding switch, and you can switch it between parallel and series. So you can have 4 ohms, 8 ohms, or 16 ohms that way. So it's okay to overload your output transformer with impedance. It'll get really hot and unhappy if you underload it. So like if this is set to 8 ohms and you run it on 4 ohms, you're going to roast your power tubes about twice as fast. And the output transformer is going to get pretty hot. It's like if you went to the gym and I said, hey, I'm putting 200 pounds on this bar and I only put 50 on, you're going to go, And that's what the output transformer is doing the whole time. Just not, it's expecting way more resistance and it doesn't get it. Pickup's not bad for a factory pickup, is it? I really like the sound, to be honest. This is the first time I played it through an amp today, too. Anyway, Mark, there's ways to solve your problem. But if you do have a load box, that works and it sounds okay. Most attenuators don't sound that good to me. But I'm kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a jerk. I'm a snob. Haas Thompson, sounds glorious. Cleans up real pretty too. Yeah, it's a pretty good pickup, isn't it? You can get that acoustic guitar thing with the Junior. Can't hear it on computer speakers, probably. Mark says, I much prefer not having the attenuator when I'm loud and with the band. Yeah, I know sometimes you have to use them. I get that. It's a necessary evil sometimes. Not a big deal. Anyway, is that the only speaker cabinet you have that you'd want to use with this head, or? think, Mark, if you rewire those in series, and it literally will take you more time to get the back off that cabinet and rewire it than it will take you to do the change. I think you'll be happier because no matter what amp, unless you need to run 2 amps into that thing at the same time, is that why you got those split? I understand that too. Yeah, Rob Price put up a link here for Ted Weber's impedance matcher. Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing. I mean, I just know from my experience with amps, which is now approaching 50 years, 48 years to be exact, when I tore down my first Marshall. Output sections really like to see the impedance. And people get me, oh, it's louder with 4. It's not. That's like saying you have 16 feathers versus 8 feathers. It doesn't make any difference. But that little bit of impedance, throws off more harmonics and more rich detail. And also the fact that you're using the entire wind, of the transformer, you're just getting more information. Like I'm at 16 ohms here and I'm going into an aux, but you're hearing a lot of detail from this guitar, and that's because I'm on the 16 ohm tap of this transformer. Like those kinds of chords don't come out really well when you're on a 4 ohm tap. Oswald Bates thought I was crazy for thinking. No, you're right on, man. Your brain is telling you the truth. It's more information. It's more detail. So the only reason you would not want that is if your amp is not behaving well. And so you see some manufacturers use 2 and 4 ohm taps. And it doesn't change the way the amp feels. It doesn't change the volume. It doesn't change anything other than you're getting all the information coming through. Some people don't want all the information to come through because it's a problem. We, on the other hand, I wish I had a 32 ohm tap. If I could do that, I'd get more information coming through, but then the transformer would be this tall, So, yeah. But those kinds of chords, I mean, I'm doing like... If I play it slow, I can't do it. That does not come through dirty on 4 ohms. It still sound fine. You'll get the hint of it, but you're losing that detail. That's always been my chord progression for showing off an amp. Like, it takes a lot of precision to be able to play that correctly for an amp to refer. Rob Price says, I remember reading the Celestion preferred 16 ohm loads because crappy speaker wire affected tone. Yeah, that does too. That's another factor. So you can kind of mitigate that. Haas Thompson, it hides the misbehavior and it's cheaper, you say. Yeah, well, for Leo Fender, don't get me wrong, Leo Fender's a god in our business. Leo Fender bought all of his parts from Army surplus when he started the company, before he sold it to CBS. So whatever they were selling down at the Navy yards in Orange County and San Diego, that's what Fender's got. That's why you have like a bandmaster with a 2.7 ohm load, stuff like that. That's just like whatever they got, that's what they use. I mean, it has a 2.7 ohm load, but the output transformer, I think, is 4 or 5 ohms. It's something ridiculous because that's what was going up for auction after World War II. They're getting rid of stuff. And it wasn't just Leo. That was happening in Britain, too. Tubes, transformers, resistors, capacitors, etc. Most of that stuff was World War II surplus. So they were able to, A, it was really high quality because it was, mil-spec stuff. And B, they got it dirt cheap at wholesale auction. Way cheaper than buying it from a distributor, right? So in reality, old Fender amps and old Marshall amps and old Vox amps should have cost a lot more money. But they didn't because of World War II surplus. Also, the quality of military stuff is undeniable. They don't do that now. When you're buying stuff that's made in China from an online distributor, that's not mil-spec equipment. You can make good stuff with it. You just can't do it by copying old gear. That's a lot of string separation and detail there, at least in my headphones it is. I don't know if it's coming through on your computer stuff or not, but that's the other thing. When I get my shop back together, we can play live. We can be loud. I'll probably still use the aux, though, because it's so easy. Yeah, we're almost getting up to an hour here, and I do have to run at 1 o'clock. So that new two notes reload load box looks really good. 2 note stuff's pretty good. Like it works. I know a lot of guys using 2 note stuff on the road, big live acts, and they're happy with it. And I've played through some friends of mine's rigs that do that, and it was good. Yeah, the aux is great. Mark, go home and play guitar. What are you waiting for, man? Man, I just beat the tar out of his guitar. I play with a very heavy pick and a heavy right hand. Haas Thompson says, oh, I love these. Keep them coming, Haas. So you're saying an angry fascist idiot getting power indirectly helped rock and roll. Maybe the future's not all doom and gloom. Yeah, I don't know if he was an angry fascist idiot. Yeah, you're traveling, Mark. Where's your travel guitar, man? Just go to a music store where you go. This amp head Mark is asking about is a Producer 84, which is a high current, low voltage version of 4 AC30 circuits in one head. So instead of it being, an AC30 is really about a 42, 43 watt amp. AC30 is just the model number. It's not the power. They had 10, 15, 20, and then 30. It's just model number. It's like a BMW X3 versus an X5, So an AC33, 40 to 42 watts, 44 if you're really juiced up. This is about 28 watts. 4 EL84, so it's got all the body of 4 power tubes. You can kind of hear, at least I'm hearing it in my headphones. I don't know if it's coming out through the internet or not, but I get down here. That's pretty heavy sound. I think it's good. Big fat rock and roll sound. Even I was playing, what's the other one? The Beatles tune I was playing a minute ago. You can hear those big strings, right? Since you left me, I'm all alone. Now you're coming on home. I'll be good like I know I should. You're coming home. I can't sing quietly, but if I start yelling in here, everybody goes nuts. That's why I can't wait to have my shop. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Anyway. But I need to sign off here in a couple minutes. Any last minute questions? So faces, right? Let's see if I can do, it's in open tuning, but let's see. Out of tune. Tube rectifier, Haas valve rectifier. You can sing this high. You know, do in the morning. Does that sound, Haas? Is that correct? I love that song a lot. That's on the short list. Songs I used to sing in my original band with my buddies who have all passed away. We had a good starting set list. You guys have songs like that? You started playing with your very first band that you never forget? Like... I'm still out of tune. Let's go a little less dirt. Got to work on the intonation on this guitar. Who's singing? Well, I told you once and I told you twice. Never listen to my advice. I told you I can't sing quietly. Well, this could be the last time. I sang that song for the first time when I was 12 years old. What other classic tunes that never leave your muscle memory? Come on, a lot of you guys here are similar age. I mean, that song came out right when I was born, but it's still on the radio all the time. Come on, you guys are all singing it. You know you are. Best things in life are free. I want money. Your love gave me such a thrill. But your loving don't pay my bills. That's what I want. That's what Yeah. 65 producer, man. It'll do it. All right, I gotta go. Hey, I'm glad you guys showed up. I'm glad I stuck around. No more Facebook. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't like to cuss online, so I'm just going to say horse shit. Because we love horses. Horses are so sweet. So no more horse shit. I'm going to go back to doing the multicasting off of StreamYard and try. I'll wait to see guys on YouTube maybe telling me they had some issues, but thank you, Andy. Thanks for showing up, man. Yeah, there's YouTube people here. So hopefully I'll look at the recordings and see how it went. Thank you guys for coming by. Things are rolling at 65. I'm excited to share it all with you. And stay tuned. There's a lot of good stories coming up. With people you know, there's names you know, you're going to be like, really? Those guys are working with Dan in 65? Yeah. It's really fun. I have to keep a lid on it because it's a secret so far. But not for long. Okay. I love you, fellas. Thanks for sticking it out. See you next week. Love you. Oh, actually, I won't be here next week. I'm sorry. I should have brought this up 20 times now during the hour. I will be out of the country next week. So it'll be 2 weeks from today. I'll be back. 2 weeks from today. Mark your calendars. And I'll get all this horseshit settled out. And remember, horseshit's not a cuss word. And I mean that in the modern, like, woke, nice way, not the old vulgar, crass way of doing things. This is the modern, cool way of saying horse shit. Anyway, love you guys. Take care. Talk to you soon.